Pride. What does the Bible say about pride? Pride can be a positive personality trait, but it can also be negative where someone thinks too highly of themselves, often with a need to be better than others. Perhaps the biggest problem with pride is that it's often so tough to recognize in our own lives. For example, there's a fine line between confidence and arrogance. Or consider the person who never allows anyone else to help them. Interestingly, some people call this pride while others call it shame. If you're ashamed of your vulnerabilities, you'll hide them like a dirty secret and never expose your need for help. On the other hand, if you're so prideful that you cannot possibly admit to having a weakness, you too will hide your mistakes or your need for help at all costs. Let me share an example of how pride exposes itself. I remember when I turned in my first college English paper and thought it was perfect. Now imagine my shock when the professor gave me a C-. My pride puffed up and I promptly made an appointment to straighten this professor out. In my pride, I judged the professor's teaching ability, his older age, his extra long beard, and his weird personality. But the very moment that I entered his office, he had me sit down and said, "Don't say a word." Then he handed me another student's paper which had a large A+ scrawled across the top. As I began to read, it became evident that the other student's thoughts, plots, and themes were way better than mine. His ideas and method of presentation were beautiful. Compared to my C- paper, his was extraordinary. Proverbs says, "Through overconfidence comes nothing but strife, but wisdom is with those who receive counsel." Fortunately, and by the grace of God, I was humbled, swallowed my pride, and what I learned in this experience was the single most compelling moment of my entire college experience. More than 40 years later, I'm still thankful for that wise teacher. Of course, God knows how pride can hurt us so badly. Perhaps that's why He encourages us so many times in both the Old and New Testaments to be wary of pride and thinking too highly of ourselves. A good summary of pride can be found in one very simple and straightforward sentence. If anyone thinks he is something when he is nothing, he deceives himself. Maybe we can take our eyes off the pride of other people and take a good look at our own. Today is a good day to be extra humble before God and others. After all, we're all little, fallible, and fragile people. We have no control over our birth or death and very little control over most of the things between those dates. Let's be wise, humble, and thankful to God.